This is a review that absolutely nobody asked for, but I just had a moment where I had a feeling that this powder for some reason was gonna change my life. I'm the kind of person where I think every new foundation, concealer, or powder I buy is going to completely get rid of all of my problems and give me a whole new face. So, are my expectations high for this? For no reason, they really are. I don't know. Anyways, I feel like Nars does a great job with complexion. So today, they actually launched the new Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. I think Nars has some amazing base products. I'm actually wearing some of my favorites right now. The Light Reflecting Foundation is one of my all-time favorites. And then, of course, we have the classic Radiant Creamy Concealer on. I'm wearing their amazing Laguna Bronzer. So I feel like this is going to complete the look, right? Hopefully. So I actually did go into Sephora to pick this up. I saw that it was available in all of the Sephoras in Miami, so if you want to check it out in person, I definitely recommend it because the colors were strange, you all. So before I talk about the colors, like I said, you can pick this up from Sephora. It did just launch today. I will have the links down below if you want to shop online, and it is $36. So it's going to come in a box like this, the absolute most classic Nars packaging ever. There's a 24-month shelf life, and it looks like the product is made in the USA. The compact itself is really thin, like, oh my gosh, it's like a potato chip, I feel like, but a very thin, lightweight product, which I really like. This is definitely going to fit in everybody's makeup collection. It has a soft matte touch to it. I ended up picking up the shade Cove, and there's 9 grams of product, though it feels so light, it literally feels like there's nothing inside. So Cove is described as a light with warm tone. It is definitely light for my skin tone, but I was looking at all of the colors at Sephora, and the next shade up was Bay, which is for medium with warm tone, and that was way too yellow and deep for my skin. And then I also tried Sunshore, which is a medium with cool tone, and then that one was also still dark. So I was literally the mix in between, I would say, Sunshore and Cove, but I had to pick one. And normally when it comes to setting my face, I do like something lighter in the center. So I thought that Cove would probably be the safest bet, but we'll see. I did not try Creek, which is a light with a cool tone that actually looks like it might be a better shade for me, but we'll definitely be able to make this work for how I like to do my powder. Now, what is this powder supposed to do, Morgan? You haven't even told us. So this is a multi-purpose skin perfecting powder that blurs imperfections. That's what I'm looking for. Smooths the look of skin and sets makeup for up to 24 hours. I'm not wearing this makeup for 24 hours, but I am going to face the Miami weather for you guys to wear this today. They say the coverage is medium. It's a matte finish, and it's a pressed powder. I think that this is intended more so to be a perfecting powder, not necessarily a foundation powder, which is why I have makeup on my face today. So let's go ahead and swatch it on our hand. I'm going to turn the lights pretty low today so that you can see exactly what is happening here. With this lighting, right, you can see every little crevice and pore on my face. It actually makes my makeup look worse than it actually is, but I'd rather that than you not be able to see anything. So actually it has a thicker feel to it. For some reason I thought it was going to have a very like silica-y feel and slippery. Okay, let's see. There's a little bit of coverage, but I definitely don't consider this to be a powder foundation at all. Let me get the inside of my wrist so you can see what it would do over my veins. Pretty sheer. I don't think this is going to be anything you're going to want to use for coverage. Maybe to set and smooth the face and control oils, but I'm getting no coverage. I even think them saying it's a medium coverage is false. So let's go ahead and put this on already, Morgan. I'm going to do a brush on one side of my face. I have absolutely no powder on, just liquid and cream products. So let me blend out the under eye, and I'm going to use a Rephr brush, and I'm going to set this under eye right here. And I want you to look from one side to the other. I did see some blurring happening here. I normally don't use pressed powders for my under eyes, but what do you think of that? I don't think it added any hydration to the under eye. It is a powder after all. It does look a wee bit drier, I would say, but it looks smooth at the same time. Now the telltale for me is right in this area. So you see, okay, that definitely blurred a little bit. Why is this brush shedding right now on me? Come on now. And then I also want to take some of it right here. So this is normally how I like to use this powder, so I don't mind this shade. I do wish it was a little bit deeper, but it's doing a nice job of brightening my skin. You'll see that made my skin look more snatched. And then the forehead is also another good way to tell. It didn't do too much with my forehead, but it did set the makeup down. So what do you think? Can you tell a difference between the set side and the unset side? I would definitely say this is quite blurring, and I think it made my skin look much more perfected. Is it as smooth as my Huda Beauty powder? No, but this also is a lot less powder, so I like that it's a lighter layer and it looks quite smooth. Ooh, this did kind of finish off the makeup, I feel like, and made my skin look better. You know, you can't completely change the appearance of skin, but it looks awesome. It definitely has a more matte finish. I wouldn't call it natural. And we're gonna see if it makes my makeup last longer. I'm very familiar with my base products, but I wanna try another method of application. So I have these powder puffs, which is really popular right now. I'll link them down below. They're from Amazon. And I find that my makeup looks really smooth with these. So I just press it into the powder. I'm going to pat this on. And all I'm doing is I'm going like that. See, it's really good for shaping the face as well. I feel like I'm picking up more powder with the brush because it is not super tight packed, you know, it's not a gel formula. So if you want more powder to kind of blur it out, go with a brush. But if you want to use pressing motions to completely keep your makeup in place, you definitely need to go with a puff. I'm going to use my brush now, no additional product, just to make sure everything's blended out. I had a lot of faith in Nars with this powder because I just think Nars does an amazing job with complexion, and I have a loose powder that I really like from them. This is really nice. I think it looks stunning. It definitely blurred my skin. The proof was in the pudding. You saw it side by side. It does look a wee bit dry. It's not a hydrating powder, but that's kind of what powder does, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup. I'm gonna put a powder blush on top, put a little bit of powder down below, and we're gonna do a wear test today to see if my makeup stays looking phenomenal. What's working in the powder's favor already is I have amazing base products underneath. But we'll see if I continue to look perfected and if it keeps oil at bay, but I'll be back with my makeup done. If you're only here for the Nars review, just fast forward through this, but I wanted to test out these Hourglass lipsticks because they said they were only online. So I ordered a couple shades this morning on Sephora, and then when I went into Sephora, they had the full display. It looked so pretty that I picked up 2 more shades that looked my taste that I didn't see online, you know, because it's hard to see the colors online. But here's the packaging. These are not cheap. I think they're like $38 each, but ooh, this is so luxe. I know I loved Hourglass's last lipstick formulation, but this is like a true lipstick container because it used to be just a little thin thing. So I picked up the shade Dove, which is a little bit more peachy. There's really no fragrance. Ooh, really smooth. That might be a pretty color for today. It's not a magnetic closure. I like a good magnetic closure. How did I put this on? Okay, it's a snap closure. And then let's try the other shade, Tide. I think Tide's a little bit more my taste. Like, I like this color Dove, but I rarely wear colors so bright. I normally wear neutralized kind of colors. I'm struggling to get this out of the packaging. Excuse me. And by the way, I do have Jacqueline Cosmetics Coffee Cake Lip Liner underneath. Okay, look, let's see Tide. This is definitely my speed of a nude. Oh yeah, has a little bit of mauviness. I don't know, can you see like that pinkiness? Ooh, I'm gonna wear this one today. But it has a nice creamy feel to it. You can see though, it's not smoothing over any lineage, which is normally what I prefer with the lipstick, but we'll see how long it wears. Oh, the color mixed together is kind of pretty too. Okay, I'm just gonna wear these two colors mixed together. So what I can say from first impressions about these lipsticks is that they probably are not worth the money in terms of being $38 each, but it's a beautifully smooth formulation. I used to love the older lipstick formulation from Hourglass. I'm gonna have to pull that out and compare them. I'm gonna do a review, by the way, when the other lipstick colors that I ordered, because then I will have 5 in total to review for you guys in a separate video. But really, really pretty. It feels like a really nice, comfortable formulation. Looks nice. We'll see the longevity on this as well. And I'll have a review up later, but I like it. But it is expensive. Okay, so I'm kind of on my balcony, but it's really, really sunny, so I'm like inside in front of the door. But here is a closer look at what the foundation is looking like on my iPhone, which really shows the texture. You know, iPhone could be a little nicer about that, but here is how we are looking. I will have all of the links to all of the other products that I'm wearing down below, but let the wear test begin. Oh my gosh, I was just laying down. I did not realize my hair looked like this. I've been wearing my makeup now for about 4 hours, so I wanted to do a half point kind of check-in. I did go out. We got a little bit rained on while we were walking. We got some poke for lunch, and then we got a bubble tea, and then I've laid down, and that's why my hair looks like this, but I wanted to check in. And so as far as the powder, what I'm looking for, one is to see how dry or not dry my face looks, if it looks like the powder has settled in, and if my pores have continued to just look more shrunk and blurred. So here's how we are looking. Now keep in mind, we are not reviewing the foundation. Like the foundation is what creased here, and the concealer as well. But as far as how the powder's looking on my face, I definitely feel that it has become more of a part of my skin. It definitely looks less powdery, and the best part, my skin still looks really blurred. Now, it actually wasn't hot today out when I was walking, so I would say I didn't have any oils come through or any sweat or anything. We'll see later when I go on a walk if we can work up a little bit of perspiration to see how the powder performs with that. But my face is still looking fresh. Like I said, I'm wearing a really good foundation that wears pretty good, but I do think the powder is definitely enhancing the wear time on this, and my skin still looks so smooth. I'm very, very happy with how this is looking so far. So I came in with these super high and hopeful expectations that this powder was going to be transformative for my skin, and so far I am not disappointed. It looks amazing. So again, I will catch you in a few hours. I'm gonna try and, I don't know, do some jumping jacks or something. Let's actually challenge this powder, but I am so happy right now. All right guys, it has been about 9 hours since I last applied the powder. I'm here to give you the final check-in, and I look great. I think this powder has done a phenomenal job of keeping my face set and longer lasting. I do have a little bit of shininess happening. This is my dedication. I just did some planks and jumping jacks to challenge this powder since today in Miami was very cool outside, so I couldn't do a big humidity test, and I went out and walked and stuff, so I couldn't put this to the ultimate test today. But I think it's really smoothing and blurring, just like it claims to be. It's not as blurring as some of my favorite loose setting powders, but I would argue this is one of the most blurring pressed powders that I have ever used. I definitely will need to go head to head with some of my favorites to confirm that, but this one is definitely up there. I'm going to do a quick layering test right now, but I can say after having this on for 9 hours, doing a little bit of exercise and movement throughout the day, my face does look less powdery, and I do think if you have oily skin, you will like this. Obviously, I can't speak to how exactly well it's going to work for you, but I'm going to go ahead and see, like right here, you saw it was starting to get shiny. A lot of that also has to do with the foundation, not just the powder. But I definitely found that this did help with wear time of the foundation based on what I'm familiar with, having worn this foundation so many times. So here's a second layer that I put on top. It soaked the oils right up and made my makeup look good as new. So take a look right here. Once again, good as new. It's just a powder, but you'd be surprised at how much a powder can affect your makeup. Really, really happy with this one from Nars. I think it's very high quality. And I said in the beginning, I was hopeful that this powder would change my life. And while, let's not be so dramatic, did it change my life? No, but it definitely is a very good luxury powder. I'm going to continue wearing this. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because this will be featured in the future speed reviews as I continue to use this and test this on more warm days. But first impressions, I'm very impressed. All right, guys, have a good one.